Alright, so in this one I'm gonna talk about picking your domain name honestly. A lot of you guys overlook this, but this is one of the most important things out there. A lot of you guys could be testing winning products, but if you don't have a domain name, or a professional store built around that products, people aren't gonna trust you in the first place. They may look at your store and decide to buy the product based on what your store tells them in the description, but they might go to Amazon to buy the product. I know a long time ago, whenever activated charcoal was taking off, I found a website that was selling it, but I didn't really trust the website. It was weird, cause I didn't really know about dropshipping at all back then, but I saw the product, I'm like, wow, a lot of people are using this, doesn't really work. And I saw this kind of sketchy website, but I read their description of the product, and it honestly sold me on the product about just how it works and like what's in it, all this stuff. And so after I read the description, I just went straight to Amazon and bought the product. A lot of you guys might be skeptical about people doing that now, but they won't do it. One, of your marketing is good, and two, your store is trustworthy. Cause the only reason I didn't buy from that store is because the store wasn't trustworthy. So moral of that story, I'm gonna help you guys figure out how to pick a good domain name that is actually trustworthy, that will actually allow people to trust your store and actually buy from you in the first place. Used to be able to get away with very general type of names and very general types of stores like, Shopless and Trends Kingdom and Gadget Plug and things like that. But honestly, those don't work anymore whatsoever. And so that's why I'm really big on the one product store method, because it's less about just having that one product on your store, but it's more about having your domain and your store built around that product. So when people buy it from you, like I pulled up a rose bear here, it was like a Valentine's Day product. It did really well, and there's no doubt that someone is gonna trust buying a rose bear from a store called therosebear.com rather than transplug.com. Like what? Why would someone buy something like that from someone called Transplug? Because you clearly don't specialize so it just doesn't make any sense. So anyways, right here, I've got two stores that are one product stores, and they have really good domain names. Then I've got two stores here that are like various types of names, and so you'd really want to stay away from those. This right here is the first one, and it's called the Magnet Mouth. And one thing that I'm just now noticing is that this one, -1 and this one both say the at the beginning. So the rose bear and the magnet mount. So that's one thing to add to it. So if you try to like search up your domain name like rosebear.com, and just adding the at the very beginning could make it available. But anyways, if you go to the catalog of the store, I'm not gonna go over the entire store and break it down, but these guys sell all wireless chargers and phone chargers and things like that. And they're called the magnet mount, cause in the very beginning, that's all they had is this wireless charging magnet mount, and that's it. And so they built a one product store around the magnet mount, and then started branching out to become a niche store and something, wireless chargers and things like that. But this is a very trustworthy to very professional, and it's not because it's a super bougie theme or anything like that, but it's because they specialize in a certain category of products. And this magnet mount, you're not buying a magnet mount from Gadget Plug, you're buying it from the magnet mount. And then the rose bear right here is the exact same thing. I believe this is the debut theme, which is actually the same theme that I used in the case study that I took. 120K in the first 6 days. And that's a free theme. I mean, as soon as you activate your Shopify trial, that's the theme you get, it's free. So you don't need a bougie theme. And as you see, these guys are selling these rose bears for like 160. This one is, holy crap, it must be huge. It's $550. What the heck? It's like this is super high ticket. You don't need a professional theme to even sell high-ticket products, I promise you guys, but what makes us trustworthy is the fact that their name is the Rose Bear. So I would start leaning away from like professional paid themes and start leaning more towards professional domain names. I think the domain name is more important than the theme, which is a huge thing that's changed. I'm used to, like I said, you could have any sort of name on your store, but now it's all about specializing. So anyways, yeah, if you go to the shop page on this store, all they are selling is rose bears, which it wouldn't make sense if they were selling iPhone cases or anything like that. And they're calling themselves the Rose Bear. But it's very trustworthy to buy a rose bear from the Rose Bear.com because they specialize in it, and it's very trustworthy. It's even more trustworthy than Amazon, which is exactly why people are gonna buy it from brands like this, because it's a brand. It's not Amazon, it's not some general store. So anyways, these are the two names, or the two stores that I pulled up that I found. There's many more out there, but these guys know exactly what they're doing. So the Rose Bear and the Magnet Mount.com, definitely go check these stores out and kind of mimic yours after theirs again. You don't need a super bougie page, you can use a free one. I use Debut. It's very simple, but focus on having a really good domain name. And so now I'm gonna show you these two stores that aren't very good. So this one is in a different language. I believe some of it is. It's kind of weird that some of it isn't, but anyways. This one is called Trendy Gadget. Like, how trustworthy is that? Like, would you buy from the store? Ask yourself, would you buy from the store? And ask yourself the same thing. Whatever your store name is right now. And if you don't have a store right now, well, think about that before you set your domain name. Think about what I buy from this store. And so this one. A lot of the products are very similar as to products you would see, like actually doing well, and oh my god, these colors are terrible. I'm not even gonna get into it, but like this product right here is a magnetic iPhone case. That product really popped off. And then let's see, there was another one up here that I saw that was doing really well. Yeah, this bag right here, the security bag. This is a winning. Most of these are honestly winning products, but honestly I don't think anyone would ever buy from a store like this because 1, the colors are all over the place, 2, it's got multiple different languages on here, but no, 1 is the domain name is trendygadget.shop. I just now noticed that it's not even .com, it's .shop, which is okay if it's like the roseberry.shop, but I mean that's just too much. Trendygadget.shop, not today son, not today. And so this one is honestly the worst one I've seen in a minute. Gadgetplug.com. No way, it says gadgetplug.usa.com. Wow. How original, right? This is just funny. This is the debut theme, but this is how you don't want to do the debut theme. So this is a good version of debut theme. This is a bad version of debut theme, okay? And so this is honestly just need I say more? You can see on my screen. This is exactly what not to do. And if some of you guys are thinking, oh, I don't see anything wrong with it. Well, there's a lot more videos left in the course. So just stick it out and you'll see why. So never name your store anything like Plug or Gadget or Trinity or Kingdom or Store or anything like that. Try to name your store around the product that you're selling, which if you're selling like a niche store or general store, just something I don't really suggest doing. Then you can still find a way to make it professional. It's a lot more difficult, but if you're going to one product store method, you definitely want to name your store around the product. And so one way to do that is before you even start the store, you can actually search up the Shopify domain generator. And so that's what I did, and I just searched this up and here it is. Domain name generator, and you can just click search for a domain. It'll bring you down here, and I mean honestly, you could just type in the product. So if it's some sort of ring light, like the light that I'm using right here for my camera in my video, it's a ring light, so I mean, just search it up like ring light and see what happens. Of course, you're not gonna be able to have a ringlight.com. But it's gonna give you suggestions as to what you could have. Like, yeah, you could do ringlight.net, ringlight.org, but you don't want any of those course down here. They got like Ringlight Productions or MakeRinglight.com or OneRinglight.com like that. That's a good one right there. OneRinglight.com, like that's super professional. And then you could basically build your brand around being that one ring light, and I think that's super cool. That's perfect, and I mean it was that easy. And so that's exactly what you want to do. Whatever the product is that you figured out that you want to test, figure that out first, and then come find a domain name that you want to use before starting your store by using the Shopify domain name generator. And like I said, I mean you don't always have to use .com. You can either use .com, .co, or .shop, but I would try to use .com when you can. But like I said, the case study store is .shop, so don't worry about it too much. Just don't use like .org or .biz or anything ghetto like that. But anyways guys, that's that. Hope you enjoy the video, and if you had any questions, like I said, ask it in the Facebook group if you're a part of that. But that's all for this one. I will see you in the next one.